Hello, my Dottlings. How are you this evening? We're back on Shameless Self Promotion with a welcome and familiar face for the second time in a row, which doesn't usually happen, but thank you, Asen, for filling in tonight.
Not a problem, honey. You know I've always got something to promote. And I've got a few things to promote, but you've got something big to promote. And I thought, what the hell? Let's go promote each other.
You know what we do? So I think we did talk about my new office in the. It's funny because I think that I've had two live streams in this office, and they've both been with you.
Three. Yes, three.
All the ones of November.
Yeah.
So I've got my new office, which we will be taking clients in starting the 6th, which is next week. So if you are interested in doing an in-person reading with Dottie the Psychic, get a hold of me.
Yeah. And, that'll be added to your thing.
Yeah, it's nice. I still got to get all my, I'm still getting the office in order. That is going to take, I am taking my sweet time with that because I would rather it look like not quite put together than to look junky.
Mm-hmm.
Which ADD brain, you get it one way or another. Either I take a million years to put it together or I fight my own clutter.
Yeah, and see, that's not what you want to do.
No. And also, there are some things I need, which I have on a Amazon wish list that I will be. I don't think I saved it. Let me get that for Joe. I'll drop it in the private chat so he can disseminate it.
Mm-hmm.
And so while I'm doing that, Asen, tell me a little bit about what you got going on.
Well, I have a few things going on. I have just left the 2023 transit reports that you can now go to my site and order and get the star map of your next year. Then we have something really fun, something I'm really, really happy to be talking about. We are almost full of vendors. We have a few spots left. That is a Yule Market and Ball at Vice Versa in Morgantown, West Virginia. And that will be on December 17th, starting at 3 p.m. Vendors, you may arrive at 2. And it's going to rock from 3 to, I believe, about 6, 7. And then the vendors are going to put their stuff up, and we're going to pull out the entertainment.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. It's this year's different. This time of year is really difficult and different for events, especially when it's in the psychic industry.
Yeah, you've got this dual thing, especially psychic events more so than a lot of other I forgot what the word I'm saying is. Never mind.
Yes, you do. You got a lot of different
industries. There we go. We do have, people tend to think of us seasonally or constantly.
Right.
We've got a few people who call all the time, and then we've got a few people who call once a year.
Right. But also, we're normally outside event people. That's the big difference. Is we're normally, put outside. We've got our tents. We got everything going, everything rocking, and then all of a sudden, winter comes and it's like, yep, we can't do outside events.
Right. That's a big thing, not being able to do outside events because it gets cold. Because I've done outside events. I'm actually hoping to do an outside event, December. It would be my normal tea and coffee week, but I'm going to have to shift to the second week.
Right.
Gwen and I are trading.
Yep, you and Gwen are trading. You're trading spots. You're trading locations. All right.
Well, we're trading. Yeah, we're trading tea and coffee times because when I would normally do my tea and coffee, or where I used to do my tea and coffee, is right on top of Art Walk in Charleston. And now that I'm set up in Charleston, I want to be able to go and meet the public.
Yes. Well, not only that, but you want to take part in the community. And that's the thing that's going to be big for you. You now have a community you have to interact with.
Right.
You've been able to, travel around. And now it's like, nope, Dottie's in Charleston. Dottie has an office in Charleston. It's Tuesday. Is Dottie in her office? Yes, she's in her office. If not, call Asen and he will find out why.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, it's not practical to do as many events as far away, which is nice.
Right.
Honestly, it is nice to just go ahead and plant my roots and have my studio, which I am still working on that robe that I think I started it on our last live stream, but like I've had a whole lot of life going on, folks. Asen knows. It's been a month.
Busy.
It's been a lot of positive stress.
Right. Yeah. It's been a lot of good stress, good growth going on. And it's going to be different for you because now you have to get up, you have to go put on Dottie and truck her in the car and throw on your sunglasses and come into the office, deal with a receptionist.
I love my receptionist. Y'all, if you should come and visit me on Tuesday and Wednesday so you can meet my receptionist. She is awesome.
Right.
Actually, and you know what? Here's the thing I'm really looking forward to. Number one, I do all the heavy lifting once.
Yes.
As much heavy lifting as I have done to put this place together. And there has been some heavy lifting that I have done on my onesie. I've had help here and there. A lot of good friends have supported me. But, like, I don't have to pack all this up in a van and drive it out, spend 2 to 3 hours sometimes going to a location, setting up, breaking down, and then driving back. I have I have 2 events scheduled in December. And I think that's going to be my limit for actual events from now on because I have an office, which is nice. Because before I couldn't have made it without it. Right. Because I've got next weekend, actually, the Wonders and Oddities Fair in Moundsville Prison.
Yeah. Which I won't do. Because the last time I went to Moundsville, I thought I was going to burn up or attack somebody. Either way, I wasn't doing it again.
I don't like the main building. Like, we're out in this all auxiliary, like, I guess they built a building in the yard after it was decommissioned as a jail.
Right.
I went into the actual building one time, and I didn't get very far into it before I was like, I'm just gonna turn around and go. Now, see, it's funny because I had that reaction at Moundsville, but I am stoked about my birthday. I'm going to a rather well-known haunted place.
Right.
And that haunted place, despite the fact that it is considered equally haunted, I have a much, much happier feeling around. Like, I'm excited about it. Like, because I've been there before. And it's an interesting little birthday present for myself.
It will be. It will be. So when will you start taking new clients on at the office?
The 6th. That is Tuesday. Because I wanted to set it with the full moon. The full moon is the 7th. So,
Yeah. So you'll have to visit dottythepsychic.com to book your appointment. Her appointment will you'll see a new page that says live appointments. Not that she was dead before. I mean,
there's some question, man. There's some question.
There's been debatability on that depending on the season, but it's like a friend of mine told me we're all vampires, and I said, tell me about it. I just need to find another A positive blood so I can at least live through the night. But and do you want to do readings tonight?
Do we have people asking?
We do.
Sure.
All right, Kristen, honey, we need your birthday because we have to make lawyers happy. They get a little grumpy when they think that we're reading underage. And your question. Let's make it simple and sweet. All right. So you're starting the 6th, and then you're going up to Morgantown, and you can go ahead and get your readings. I'll get that link for you guys.
September 29th, 1978.
September 29th, 1978. And what you want to know? Don't tell us anything because I've got the black deck over here just waiting.
Yeah, you never know what I'm liable to pull out with that.
Yep.
You know what? This has been a massive, massive month of upheaval.
Yeah, people.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
I got back to college,
Oh.
which is something personally that I wanted to do.
Okay, so she just wants a general love reading.
Oh, good. Oh, you know what, girl? You done asked for it then. I've got my stash now at my hand. I have a love oracle deck.
Awesome. Rock that.
I think my friend gave it to me as a joke, but joke's on her. I'm going to use it.
Uh-huh. Don't ever give Psychic your deck of cards as a joke. We'll make it a new reading.
You know, it's one of those half joke deals. It's always one of those half joke deals.
Uh-huh. It's like giving a carpenter a piece of wood. They'll come back and he made a kitchen out of it.
Okay. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first, darling. I'm going to let you take the whole show on this one.
I'm sorry if I seem a little bit aloof, people. Like the guest that was supposed to be on tonight had some family thing go on and they had to cancel last minute. And it's I need to get some makeup up in here so I can actually get ready for these things. It's one of the next things. Like I got my wigs in, I got my girls.
Uh-huh.
They look like
the
they
girls
look a
finally
hot
moved
mess.
in,
They have
purses
arrived.
and all,
Huh?
The girls finally moved in, purses and fabric softener and all, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to move in the stuff to fix them because they did not do well on the ride.
Did you not coat them down in Aquanet beforehand?
I mean, I don't think Aquanet would have saved them. I think straight lacquer might have worked, but then I would have had lacquer. Like, I'm really thinking about making an honest-to-God real helmet out of a wig.
That's a possibility. I mean, I've seen it done before. It just takes a lot of work.
I mean, like actual, like, Mod Podge.
Well, I sent you the wig mistress that does those wigs, restyles them so prettily. You should really check her out.
Get that up in Parkersburg, you said?
No, I sent it to you on TikTok. She shows you how to fix wigs to make even.
Yes, she's actually one of my favorite TikTokers. Y'all, this is ridiculous. Anyway, all right, dear. Let's see what we got. We have the girl with a snake, empathy, and narcissistic paradigm. Being charmed or used. Enable boundaries. Those are what she got going on. See? Girl with a snake. We have the mirror. Mirroring each other. Self-image. Relationships reflect our wounds. Introspection. I love these cards, but they have just enough gloss on them. There we go. Twin flames. Yin and yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complementing each other. Complement each other. So that's pretty intense, dear. I think that here's the thing. A lot of people cannot be with their twin flame because they burn out. So you got to decide how you want to proceed. Proceed, because I see that there has been a lot of things that have been thrown up in your face that's maybe not always in the most constructive a manner by the looks of it. What do you got, Asen?
Overall with it, and I'm just picking up from your cards, is I feel like there's a lot of indecision going on. I also feel like that you have a connection there, but you're going to want to grow it. You can't be moving as fast as you are because it will stuntle your growth. And you got to be questioning what you want out of this relationship and not be laying any charms down, laying out some hard and fast boundaries and rules that fit your demeanor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boundary, here's like clear, concise communication. Repeat
Yeah.
after me, gentlemen, ladies and
Hmm.
gentlemen. Clear, concise communication. Ladies and gentlemen, and folks in good standing.
Yep. And that way you can get everything where you need it to be and how you want it to be, so that you're able to keep it where you are and to build what you really want out of that. Okay. All right. So let's talk about some of my vendors going to be up at my show. Well, it's not just mine. It's also Earth Magic Show. It's also Pagan Pride Show, Central West Virginia Pagan Pride. And that will be a few of our good friends, a couple of our great friends, and some of our amazing people. Fake Lips is coming up. She's bringing the candles, she's bringing the incense, and she's bringing the Thanos with her. Tina Makes Magic.
She does. I love her candles. I personally, at this point, like, I will buy candles from the local metaphysical shops to support local business. But if I need something for something, I go to
Mm-hmm.
Mandy. I
Yeah.
go to Fake Lips.
All right. I still need her to design me a 200-hour candle that's only 4 inches tall. I've been waiting
You
for
know, if anybody could do it,
Mm-hmm. That's a
um,
very high temp
I have.
wax.
I usually here's the thing. Like, I actually, from where I've got the office now, and I am like my father sold stuff, so I like having things to sell people. Like I've got a little prosperity altar over here with the, like a give a take, uh, leave a token, take a token. Yeah, there we go. Leave
Mm-hmm.
a token, take a token thing set up. But I've also, like, over there, I have like a little gift shop area, and I'm going to have some of her candles and incense here to sell.
Right. And her incense is oil based. And that's the
Yeah,
important thing.
it's the real deal.
It's oil based is going to burn longer. It's going to have a better scent. It's going to have a longer scent. It ain't going to burn like that crap you buy at Walmart. Okay. And then, of course, Tina Makes Magic. We love her and her wands. They're always beautiful. Sacred Totems. Do we know them? I don't know. They're a new vendor for me. What about you, Dottie?
Sacred totems. What's the name of the owner?
Young.
I don't know. It's probably one of those. I'd probably know him if I saw him.
Yep. They sell different things made from all types of stones, mostly necklaces, some rings, sculptures, and hangings, magnets, and tumbled stones. Pretty interesting.
Oh, were they at Pagan Pride?
I believe they were.
Then yes, I spoke with them briefly. I won't say, I won't go
Mhm.
so far as to say that I know them, but their stuff was amazing. Like they did the stone inlays,
Yeah.
which just
Yep.
astounds me.
Hmm.
I have no idea how much time and money and invested she has in her art, but wow.
Hmm. And then we have Cambo Hollow. Cambo Hollow is by Johnson is the last name, and they will have oddities, jewelry, and knickknacks. Very interesting. And then some dear friends of mine, and I'm sure of yours too, the two Tinkers will be joining us.
Yeah, I know they also work with Mandy pretty closely.
Mm-hmm. Fine art, jewelry, and of course, handmade gift items. They have some lovely art. I don't know if they still sell this or still have this painting, but they used to have a painting called The Lovers, and you really want to take a close look at it. Take a very good close look at it. All right.
That
And
always
then,
makes me wonder, is it dirty?
no, it ain't dirty, honey. It's just surprising. Then we have Sticks and Stones. Sticks and Stones will, of course, be bringing bags for your charms and stones and possibly some gems.
Ooh.
Okay.
See, that always interests me. I do like the bags and stuff. I was actually thinking about making. I am never, like, when I go to events, I am never taking stock. But like now that I have a shop, I'm thinking about making poppets again.
Ooh, make sure they're chew proof. Did you see what I did, my latest creation?
No.
Okay, first out, everyone knows I practice breakout witchery, right? And everyone also knows I have a lovely dog that's a toy puppy. All you do is you go to the Goodwill and get you one of the stuffed animals or stuffed dollies that reminds you of that person. And yes, use it like you want it to. And then you give it to the puppy and let him destroy it.
What did that person do to you? Bang! Man, I tell you what, like I always thought that I was kind of a bitch for some of the dark magic, well, not even dark magic that I've cast. Like I realized that I am the grayest unused cotton ball in the bag.
Uh-huh. Well, you know, honey, I'm the Voldemort of West Virginia. I have to keep up my appearances.
I guess. Dang.
Uh,
But
then we have travel and goodies. Travel and goodies sounds interesting. Travel information and my kitchen witchery: cranberry sauce, salted caramel, spice blends, and finishing salts.
I am glad to see somebody in the community out there making snacks. You know how I feel about my snacks.
Yes, you must have your snacks. She will throw a fit if she doesn't have it. Then we have Moonrise Mountain Market. And Mountain Market will bring functional art, epoxy resin, and fabric crafts. Great for your stocking stuffers and underneath your trees. And then rounding us out, now we still have some room, and there's a few I didn't mention. We'll go back up and mention this in a minute. Is Twisted Willow's Beauty Company, and Twisted Willow will be bringing handcrafted herbal oils, soaps, your body scrubs, your salves, and more. And then, of course, we have some really good readers. You know, if I'm going to be there, there's going to be good readers. We have Tea and Tarot coming in. Then, of course, we have the Pendulum Path, Miss Natalie McVickers. Both of those are co-hosts on the PCSP network. And then we have Rainbow Feather. And Rainbow Feather will be there with us. And
I don't think I've worked with Rainbow Feather before.
I think we have. I think they were at Pagan Pride.
Honestly, I still have Pagan Pride in my editing machine because that's the way my life has been going lately.
It has, and they'll be offering unique 3D printed alternatives and Gothic centered earrings and other accents.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now I do because the name sounded familiar. I think I did work with them. They've been to like all the Pagan Prides.
They have. That's 3D.
At least all the Pagan Prides I have.
Nobody wants.
Nobody wants a hungry witch. Nobody wants a hungry witch.
Nobody wants a hungry witch. You know what happens when you have hungry witches? You have a barbecue because we'll get up and start cooking something or somebody. Facts, people, facts. Oh, so what's the second event? You're going to the prison.
Yeah, I'm going to the prison, and then the second event is actually Holiday in Ashland. I actually work. I've got a few friends on the council there. They have a whole lineup. They have both drag and non-drag performers this year. Like they've pretty well split it up. So we've got, the standard drag show, which is never to be missed.
No.
But then I'm going to go read so that they could use because I offered originally to be a comedian there because I just don't know when to quit. And I think I'm funny.
Well, you are funny. You don't realize how you're funny, but you are funny.
I just don't have time to put together a routine right now. I'm like, I'm not picking up anything else until all my editing is done. Yes. I don't even have a video on my main channel, which is my baby. So my baby got neglected this month.
Yeah.
But
if she doesn't get a video on her main channel, that editor that she keeps that social media manager she keeps mocking we'll harness her to the desk.
Oh God, honestly, like it is not a lack of desire. It is, I started back to school. I've got a boyfriend now, which actually, you know what? I want to love reading too.
Yeah.
I only look 12.
I know. Give me a birthday.
March 17th, 1986.
All right, we're doing the ladies' plan, and we're going to do the Black Tarot. Of course, you gave me a subject reading.
My subject is, there's a lot of things. Where do we want to start? You know what? It's funny because I feel pretty secure about everything, despite the fact that it's in some very early, wonky stages of like everything. Like I feel like let's see.
All right, well, let's see what the cards have to say, and then we'll go from there. First, we have the Hierophant that reminds you to follow traditional ideas. Macked up with the Six of Wands, meaning you got a lot of playtime to be having here. Currently, we are at the Seven of Spears, which is you trying to outwit the Tree of Life to get out of your natural path, and that doesn't always work too well. With the Page of Cups, meaning he's sweet, he's nice, he likes to talk. Make sure communication is the main focus of what you're doing.
We have been doing that. We've been good at communicating.
Yes. Moving ahead, we have the Six of Spears here, which reminds you to keep it light and bubbly. Because on the other side of that, we have the Queen of Swords. And with the Queen of Swords, you have to remember that she makes sharp, fast decisions and often gets her husband's head cut off. Thank Queen of England, Bloody Mary. Yes, that queen. Your advice is to be the Queen of Wands and hold your logic and your balance and be your Mama Earth and your loving, tender, and caring self. And in your full power, because I know the rest of your birthday.
Yeah, I have. Oh, I'm not trying to get out of shit. I'm just trying to not fuck it up.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know what planet I'm on right now. I am tired, y'all.
You're in the third star, actually.
Third rock from the sun.
Do you want to take a break?
Yeah, let's go ahead and go to commercial.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Dottie the Psychic, and I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, one reason is to irritate my social media manager, Asen Knight. Hi, Asen. The other reason is because I like to get to the naked truth about what it means to be a neurodivergent LGBT person with psychic abilities. I've got vlogs, blogs, and podcasts and videos all related to trying to live my best life and helping witches and bitches do the same thing. So, you can check all that out and get a reading from Dottie the Psychic at DOTTIEthepsychic.com. Safe travel and much profit to you.
Do you have a cute pet? We know you do. Each week, Tracy Vann chooses from submitted photos a featured reader for her Facebook page and provides a tarot reading. Your adorable pet cat, dog, rabbit, goat, chicken, snake, or more could be her next featured reader. Visit TracyBann.com, TracyBann.com, and click Featured Reader to submit. We look forward to seeing your pet next.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here, and I am here to tell you how to get in contact with me and a little bit about what I do. I am the High Priestess that works with shadow work to help you grow and heal. And I work with access bars, Reiki, I do power forms. I'm recently getting into crystal healing, sound therapy as well. So you can go to Lady Gwendolyn Healing, that is LadyGwendolynHealing.com. Book your appointment with me. I do in person, I do over the phone, I do over Zoom. We can do that as well. My main goal is to help you grow and heal, because I've been there, I'm still going through it, and I let my strength help guide you. See you soon.
Hey everybody, Natalie here from The Pendulum's Path. If you are in need of guidance, direction, spiritual connection, healing, or more, you would come to the right place. I have worked as a psychic and a medium for over 3 years, connecting people from all over the world with their loved ones, giving them insight and guidance into their current situations, their past healings, their blockages, and what they need to know in order for them to have a better future. It would be my absolute honor if you would come to my website at www.thependulumspath.com. Visit my shop. I have a whole bunch of crystals, oils, balms, mystery boxes, and more. And visit my services. I offer 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute sessions. I also have email readings available if you're not comfortable with the one-on-one session with me, or if you just want to try me out. I encourage you to come visit me at the Pendulum's Path, and let's get you back on the right track today.
All right. And we are back.
I always forget that this is my live stream because I'm so used to doing tea and coffee where you're the host.
Yeah.
Well, I follow your leads. It's funny because, this is my live stream, but every time you come on, I'm like, okay, they're just kind of, okay, take over.
Yeah.
This is my dragon mother.
Well, and that's because we have a rhythm. We can bounce.
We do. We make it work. We can work well together. That's the important part.
We do. We actually work really well together. I was really surprised when I think it was the Beckley event. Was it the Beckley event that we worked together? It was. It had to have been.
Beck.
That was the first event I done outside.
We didn't really. We kind of just sat up across from each other, like.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the same event. Because I travel a lot with fake clips.
Right.
Which I haven't been this month because honestly, this is not the month for psychics.
No,
really.
This is the month we take a respite because we're
right.
we're going into the Battle of the Black Rose for the network readers, and most of your traveling psychics are also network readers, and that's always fun.
Well, and then so my season. This is my down season, but it's also it's Christmas coming up. It's Yule coming up. It's a lot of other holidays coming up. So people are looking for those, presents to give people. So Mandy sells candles, and I am not, I want to see her flourish. So I've kind of I've stepped back and just I'm like, okay, good luck. Because a couple of events, the arts and crafts events where she's going to do really, really well, aren't going to want a psychic there.
I wonder, because I see a lot of the ones out west want a psychic there.
That'd be interesting. I've always kind of wanted to go into the really, really big Pride events, just to vlog the experience.
Right. Right. But no, I often wonder if it's not that they don't want us there, it's that they don't know they can have us there.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Okay, so Mike wants a general read on my hobby.
Thanks, and it's 8/5 of 85. Lovely year.
Okay, I went first last time. It's your turn.
All right, I'll get them.
Let's see, hobbies. What deck do I want to use for hobbies? Probably by the next time I do a live stream, I'll have this robe done.
Screen up, and you'll be beaming yourself in from Portland. That's what you'll have. We have the Fool card here, Mike, which shows that there's a new beginning, and it's pretty good because it pulls you out of the 10 spears here, which you were kind of like, I can't go on. So this is helping your creativity. It's helping your mental function. It's making you better. All right. So then we have the star card, which is you needing to listen to your own gut instincts, balanced by the Seven of Pentacles here, which reminds you money flows in when you follow your heart. And then moving ahead here, we have the Six of Wands, which gives you great temperament, but you also have to remember to keep the paperwork with Hierophant. Your advice, though, is the Page of Cups, which is to follow your heart and listen to what other people are telling you they want out of that hobby.
Okay. So let's take a look. I have a deck of plastic cards that I bought so that when I'm working outside, I don't damage my cards.
Oh, you got it for the rating events.
Yeah. But they sound different when they shuffle. They sound and feel different. It's kind of interesting. So I have got a pair of fives. And then we'll read these like poke cards. So I got a pair of fives.
So there's some growth going there.
Yeah, I see that you've got some growth and you've got some conflict.
Right.
That pair of fives, you've got the 5 of spades and the 5 of clovers. So you're fighting yourself, and you're causing your own growth to be stunted. You're letting a lot of old hang-ups hang you up, and it may be time to cut a couple people out of your life who keep bringing drama in, because it's stable in and of itself, but right now it's stable as long as you're willing to fight for it. I think if you can clear out this debris that you have built up around you, there's still a lot of growth to be had. That's what I see.
All right. Well, that was pretty good.
I get to do old-fashioned poker, like pokery.
Yeah, I haven't done those in a while. I'm a little rusty. I think I still practically own a Yahoo group about reading Katana.
Right. You know what I like to read every now and again? I like to lay out a solitaire spread. Like, you know, when you play solitaire?
Uh-huh.
I like to just occasionally. That's usually if I'm going deep, though. Like, that is that often ends in like visions and stuff. Like, that's not letting a dog, that is just not letting that bone go.
Right.
I kind of always wanted to do the major wheel spread. I've never sat down and done that one. That's not what it's called, but the one that uses all the cards. You set it in a circle.
Yeah, it's called the wagon wheel.
The wagon wheel.
Yeah, and it literally looks at it month by month for a year. That's a $200 read, honey.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'd have to look up how to do it.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, it's not something like that would be an interesting party thing to do.
It is. It is. All right. So I do technically have a great Christmas present. Your person can use all year long, up for sale. I normally just list them at the beginning of the year, but I think I'm going to leave them around all year. And that is your transit report. Your astrological transit report gives you everything from New Year's Day all the way through the whole year, and it will tell you all your personal horoscope, and that will only be for $23 this year.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to get one of those for my sister and me. And everybody I know. Probably everybody's stocking stuff for this year.
That's going to be a thick stocking, honey. That's why I email them. They used to be like 87 pages. Ooh, we need to take
I'm doing Christmas cheap. It's going to be wine and celestial charts.
That works. Some people need a box wine, not even a good bottle. All right, let's take on Caitlin here and see what her finances are. It's a 10-1 of 94.
That's going to be good financial cards.
Yes.
You know what? Nothing's oldies but goldies. I'll break out my babies.
Your oldies but goodies, huh?
Oh, he was looking down. I don't even bridge these cards anymore because I don't know if they'd survive it.
Oh, these won't bridge worth crap. That's how sturdy that deck is.
Well, that's a good thing. These are, I mean, yeah,
All right.
these were, I hand drew these on index cards, and those index cards have been through hell.
And a half, they survived your ex-husband.
Right?
They've already been to hell. All right, so Caitlin, honey, first up we have Temperance with the Moon. You need to balance your fears here and come up with a plan. Right now, you're in the middle of recreation, i.e. the Ace of Cups, coupled with the Death card. So that's not only a new emotional ground, that's a new complete building of your path here. Moving ahead, we will have the Star card. So you need some financial guidance with the Reverse Tower, meaning whatever you build, it's just going to keep on growing. It ain't falling down. It's getting deeper in the roots. Your advice here is interesting because it is, again, the Seven of Spears. And when this card pops up in a financial reading, it reminds you to keep going. That things are about ready to take off and grow. So you see in the picture there, that tree's growing roots into the ground and also up into the sky.
Okay. I have a loss of religion, but not faith.
Mm-hmm.
I see that this is going to be kind of a harder season. Like, it might be a good season to save back. It is winter. Make sure that you're prepared. This is the shield of your crew, your family, not just like your chosen family, your kinsmen, so to speak. So it may be time to call on a favor or two.
We're 40.
Somebody you've helped out. This is the eye. This is the butterfly of eyes. And this is a very important card because it reminds you to maintain a certain perspective. I'm seeing a lot of warning cards here. Mostly about losing your path. So because I've got like time upside down and I've got the hearts upside down. So things are going to be a little on the sticky side for a while. I know that sucks, and that's probably why you're asking for a reading right now. But it does look like it's one of those things that once you start to change your perspective, then you're going to be able to bring in more money. But right now you're stuck in a bad thought pattern that is creating a brokenness in your heart, and so it's creating a brokenness in your wallet. Does that make sense, dear?
Makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me. I do seem to make more money when I'm happier. It's weird.
Well, and I think we all get into that drudge.
Right. Oh, thank you.
Makes sense, and I'm glad I hope you enjoy the temple maintenance system.
Thank you. I'm trying to get the book done. It has been in limbo. That has been the hardest part to get done, and I knew it was going to be. I am trying to just learn to set aside time. I've just been so completely overwhelmed I haven't worked on it. But the artwork for half the deck, I'm publishing half the deck at a time. The artwork for the first half of the deck is done. It is in the can, waiting for me to get it together to write the book that goes with it in my grand style. And so after that, I have to get it edited, and then the process really begins.
Yeah, and it's not that hard.
Right. And I don't want to if I can avoid self-publishing, I will, because you can go from being published to self-publishing. You can't necessarily go the other way.
Right. You can, according, but hello, Miss Brenda. How are you, darling? I still think there's a couple out there that'll be very interested in this deck because it's a new wave. So I think
It is,
we
yeah.
have to look at, your traditional publishers, Red Will, Llewellyn, Bombay Press.
Yeah, because it is certainly, it's not like I don't, it's been a long time since I did art that wasn't part of this deck, and I really like, I need to bring out my tablet and just play. I need to actually put some play time in my schedule.
You do. And some white space. There's always a good thing to have some white space.
Asen, you'd be proud of me, or you should be proud of me. I actually broke down and got me a pocket calendar.
Yay! Now, is that a Bojo, meaning you have to draw in your spreads?
Nope. I got one that has there's this week. I'm going to try and sit down Monday and figure it out, or at least the next day, and then try to document on how far I got.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm rolling a day at a time.
That's okay. That's okay. You'll get to where that no longer helps you and you have to go deeper. But hey,
Right.
you build your system.
I'm just trying to get started. That's all.
Exactly. And that's all you got to do is get started one piece at a time.
Right. And I mean, I spent too much money on this, but I may outgrow this style of book. So, because it's got a lot of weird stuff in the front that I don't understand.
All right. Well, what you got in the front? Let's talk through this.
Okay. Okay. There's the year calendars, which I get. I get that it's good for a glance, circling very, very important dates.
I used to color that in for the dates I have something to do. So I can just open my planner and see that, oh, nope, sorry, I'm not available that day.
I'm probably going to use the month planners because each one of these pages is a separate, there's 2 months here.
Right.
So I'll probably use that because it's got just enough space for me to put initials or something. Because I am not good at coloring. I don't keep colored pencils around. If I draw, then I use color, and then I'll go completely buck wild. But for organizing, people use different colored highlighters. I'm glad that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work for me.
Pen and good highlighter.
Right. Right now, I'm actually putting the Shameless self-promotions in there.
Awesome.
So that I'll have them marked out. I'm circling those. Well, not circling those. One thing I do like about this is that you really can't see it on camera, but it's got the weeks of the month. No, weeks of the year, maybe? No.
What's it say, honey?
That's what it is the weeks of the year marked.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm just realizing that.
Mm-hmm. And does it have a system there for you to use already?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. And this goes into it's got a yearly calendar for 2024.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a very, very weird, if you look at this graph, these are all countries up here, and these are months.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are holidays for different countries.
Yeah.
There's a lot of course, December is really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, January 1, everybody wants its New Year.
Except for 30.
Right. And then, of course, there's a big jump in April.
Right.
It's just about a line. Time zones, there's a page for time zones. I don't know why. I'm fine with it, but I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Mm-hmm. Dialing codes for countries. Country dialing codes.
That will come
a measurement conversion table. Right.
As you gain more international clientele, dialing codes are highly important.
Hey, Tracy. Yes, pocket calendars are all. I'm trying to learn to be more organized. That is This is my New Year's goal. I know it's November.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we do. This is Dottie the Psychic. We don't follow patterns, but we're trying.
Well, and this is a great time to try a system out. Because if you don't,
Right.
you can quickly replace it before you're too deep in the weeds and through the new year. Oh, and Brenda got
Right.
her planner and highlighters today for her temple blessing plan. Wonderful,
That's
wonderful.
cool.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
need to go-
the theme of 2023 this year is going to be getting stable, because I got started 2022. Actually, I got 2020. I got started, but the theme of 2023 is to keep things rolling, to get them stabilized. Because
Mhm.
so I've got like thoughts and ideas, travel plans, moments of the year. There's just a random blank page.
Right.
And this one's interesting. It's a dotted map of the world.
Okay.
I don't know. It says, join the dots, color, and use stickers to create a map of your unique mind. I'm like, you don't want to. That
Well,
I haven't
what's
invented
your
a medium
brain
for that
dumping
yet.
thing? Like all the Dottie the psychic goals, all the Dottie the psychic thoughts can go on that pages.
So yeah, and then it starts into like the weeks.
Cool. What's your week look like?
Right now, I still haven't sat down and put it
How
all
do
in
you
there, but
lay
tomorrow's
out?
going to
Is
be
it
super
columns,
busy.
or is it columns going down or across? Honey, I can't see that thin paper. Oh, it's going across. Okay, so it's a class.
Yeah, like there's like this is right here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Cool.
And I haven't really got it all filled out. Tomorrow is going to be all working on money.
Yep. Finance.
Opening that flow by fixing my finances. I mean, I need to get like, I'm bringing a ledger in. I'm actually going to kind of try to restructure how I am recording my income, so that when tax season rolls around, I'm not going to be just screaming and crying.
And
Again.
drinking into vodka, or your accountant drinking into vodka. Like that's where half
Yeah, I want to be able to just like hand somebody something and be like,
to actually focus.
well, that, and I think I've got, because my appointment calendar is still on my phone, because, and the reason that I did decide to start doing this, follow your advice to start doing this, was because I needed to plan out all the other tasks that I want to be able to move them around a bit.
Yeah.
If I put a task in my digital calendar, it blocks off that time and people can't reach me for reading. And I'm like, I will totally do my taxes later if somebody wants to pay me.
Yeah, taxes can wait till, I don't know, Sunday when I don't take appointments.
Right.
Right.
But I have to get them done. I was supposed to already have them done so that I could, because I've got a meeting with my other small business manager who is going to help me get all the financial things in the backgrounds all organized, because he knows how to do with QuickBooks, which is the system that I've chosen to use, and I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, the QuickBooks are really interesting to deal with. I've never been a fan of them, but that's just me. But I also run my books a little differently, and I am still an old paper and pen ledger person. I moved up to Excel lately with Joe because, he's Technology City, but
Right.
I still have a ledger book over there I used to sit down and keep things in.
I have a very hard time. I have a hard time recording things. And with QuickBooks, I can just put it in.
Right. Or I can draw it in from the bank.
Right. I have a lot of things that I do that, like it's connected to my bank account, so I can tell what's going on.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very pro QuickBooks right now.
Cool. Very cool.
Let's do our second round of commercials, and we can come back and talk a little bit more about,
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Goblins! My name is Jason, and I am the host of the Esoteric Book Club, a podcast that examines titles on the magical, paranormal, the mysterious, and the strange. I release 2 episodes a month in which I review books on esoteric topics recap news of the weird, and conduct interviews with authors, practitioners, and experiencers. The Esoteric Book Club can be found on every major podcast service or can be streamed directly from esotericbookclub.org.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I provide a blended reading consisting of mediumship, psychic, and tarot cards. A reading from me can cover any guidance you need from relationships with your partner or your family, spiritual, financial, any questions you may need clarity on. If you would like to book an appointment with me, check out my website, tracyvann.com. That's TracyVann.com. I have bookings from 15 to 60 minutes you may choose from. That helps if you just have a quick question, need an answer, or if you're looking for a reading in more depth, I'm here to provide the guidance and clarity for you. Let's just figure it out. Bye.
Hi, Techie Joe here. I work with Ace and Knight and some of the best psychics in West Virginia to create amazing live streams and podcasts for the Psychic Coffee Shop Network. Together, we brew up great content discussing news, events, hot topics, and more, all from a psychic perspective. On the Psychic Coffee Shop, we interview amazing authors in the metaphysical realm. Coffee and Tea combines ACEN with Tracy, Dottie, Natalie, or Lady Gwendolyn for the good and the bad of being a psychic. Shameless Self-Promotion with Dottie the Psychic talks to leading and emerging YouTubers and business owners in our community. Mountain Bears brings you the latest in LGBT news and politics. The Psychic That Plans answers the question of, well, how a psychic plans. Plus, we're live on air. We take your comments and your questions, including psychic advice questions. Check out our amazing programming, book an appointment with top psychics, and find out all the wonderful things we have to offer at PCSBnetwork.com today.
Hi, I'm Ace and Knight. I provide tarot readings covering everything from love and relationships to your life questions and your most spiritual answers. And also, I provide a lot of guidance in finances and divorces and all those relationship problems. So, if you'd like to get a reading from me privately, not on air, you can feel free to do so by visiting aceandknight.com and booking your appointment. I also provide on-demand services, so if your life is a little chaotic, you can go ahead and click that Call Now button there on my site. Great for a quick answer question. All right, guys, back to the show. Enjoy. Oh.
Okay, I think I realized what part of the problem is. Like, not that it's, there we go. Like, I can't stare straight into the camera. I've got a circle ring, circle light, which I love. It is a great effect, but I'm staring straight into a light.
It does get a little much. It does get a little much. I actually like that as my morning light in my office.
I can see why. Like, it's a nice, it is a light for effect rather than function. Oh, well, that doesn't sound right, but yeah, it is, it's interesting. It's like, I like this thing. I can change the color. This is what I like about it. Ooh, that's much better.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like that. No, that's too warm. There we go. Very much. There you go. That's the Vampirial Dottie I know.
Yeah, I realize now that I don't think I put on makeup in a month. Like, I've had a full... For those of you who don't know, I am a non-binary person, and sometimes I just go full, like, especially, well, aesthetically anyway, masculine. Cleaned up the mohawk, haven't worn makeup. I've been wearing men's shirts loosely. I've even been catching myself speaking with, like, a lower tone. So, like, this has been a man month. Hopefully next month will be a more feminine month.
See, I don't get this, and I've been trying to figure this out for ages, and maybe you can help me on this.
Okay, well,
when did
no promises, but we'll try.
For men to look more appealing to women become feminine?
Repeat the question.
Okay, makeup was originally only for the pharaohs, and they were only you had to be part of the royal family male line of Egypt. That's where makeup was designed at and started being used. Modern makeup that we see with the rouges and the lipsticks that we use was originally for the men of court to look a little bit more attractive to the females of court. So,
You know what? It was one of those things. I think everybody was using it at that time. Like,
yeah.
You know, I get what you say. I think it had more to do. I don't know. I think it was. There's actually a whole concept of male flight, which is sort of a feminist concept. It's like white flight, but it's a gender-based thing instead of a race-based thing. Like, because things like nursing was once a men's profession. It started off like during the Civil War as being a man's profession, and then it moved as women came into the field. It became a traditionally woman's field, and then you have the whole trope of male witches being homosexual. And it's only now with the feminist movement, with people trying to find jobs and stuff, there's just been a massive shift in healthcare that it's now a more equal field. One of the few genuinely equal fields.
Right.
And it's still female dominated. You're still going to see a lot more women than men, but you are seeing more and more men in it.
Right. And
I don't know why.
Right.
Because I actually had this conversation. Go ahead.
According to Professor Google, it was the mid-1800s.
Right. So yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts.
Okay.
As it took on a more feminine air. Especially you think about it in war times. Men went, and then it's always been like an aristocratic thing when men wore makeup. And then, I hate to say this, but like, it's not like they preen any less.
Oh no, we preen more. We have more hair we have to preen.
Right. It's not like, honestly, it's not like men have any. I don't know. It is strange though, because I don't know if this is part of that whole toxic masculinity, hard masculinity sort of concept where you just randomly adopt something, decide it's feminine, and then it has to be rejected.
I don't know. I find it interesting.
And I realized how arbitrary some of our gendering things are by working with early stage trans women.
Okay.
I was talking to one that has become a very close friend of mine, I think, and she's driven trucks all her life. She could use a truck, but she didn't want to buy a truck because she felt like the truck was masculine, and she's trying everything to avoid being perceived as masculine. She's in that stage. I'm like, so you're going to tell me just paint the truck pink. Make it a pink truck.
Exactly.
Yeah, pink. Pink is also a good example because pink, is associated with bloodstains.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, that just, also pink as a natural dye is kind of hard to find. Most of your natural dyes are going to be greens and browns and yellows. That's why they're traditionally earthy colors. Things like there are a few ways to get blue, but then there are things like purple. There's a certain kind of purple, and I can't remember what the name. It's a royal purple, but you can literally only get it from boiled rotten clams.
And the reason it's royal purple is who else could afford to let clams rotten?
Literally, yeah. I mean, it was the shells, but still, like. And a lot of a lot of societies had very strict dress codes, and I cannot remember what they're called. There's a special name for hierarchicals, for the hierarchy. Jesus Christ, that word is just gone right now. Hierarchical. Nope, I am sober, folks.
Anyway,
I don't think I'm ever going to get that language back.
you
I
will
think I'm never going to get my language back. Lost it in the
grow back.
It's in my mind in the plague of 2020.
Mm-hmm. But the hierarchical system of class system, there is certain ways to dress, certain colors that were reserved for certain classes.
Yeah.
Including
the
like
uniform
orange.
hierarchy.
Yeah.
Hierarchical.
In many cultures, orange was used for the harlots.
Well, yeah, it's like class uniforms almost.
Yeah.
Like the ones that were really. It's funny because if people can't express themselves with their clothes, they'll express themselves with their hair and their hat.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got like I'm trying to remember what it is. There's every now and again like there was a socially structured ones, but then there were actually like documented laws regarding what you were allowed to wear based on your position in the hierarchy.
Right.
Yeah, French monarchy was blue.
Right.
Imperial purple. Yes, it was an imperial purple because that was Roman thing, and they would like some of those. I actually have my gray. I have a gray piece of cloth that is the size of an actual toga. It is a ridiculous amount of cloth. It's like, I think it's 6 yards long and like 1.5 yards, 2 yards wide. And it's shit cloth. Like it's actually like, I think it's upholstery cloth that has somehow made its way to me through the waves of time and space. But like the tunica was one of those pieces that everybody wore, but only the aristocracy, male aristocracy, had togas.
Right. In red and in white.
Right. And I cannot remember the name of the female dresses. One of the pieces I've worn in the Tessiomancy video. That wig, I don't know what I was thinking. Because number one, the hairstyles changed from decade to decade in Rome. But the outfit that I'm wearing is actually one of my SCA outfits. That is supposed to be, that was as accurate as I could get it.
Right. And, that's something highly important for SEA.
It's always interesting because that's one of the things I've really enjoyed that have connected two hobbies together is studying the history of divination.
Right.
Because it seems strange because there seems like there's a few big hit points and everybody's like, it started here, it went here, and it went there. And a lot of times when you go to look into these, that's all you get. Right. You get these little blips. You might get a story here or there. You've really got to dig sometimes to find out about divination. Right. But a lot of the sources, I can only go back so far because, especially with things like tessiomancy, I have no idea what Chinese tessiomancy looks like because I can't read, speak, and I don't have any cultural reference. That is literally an entire another culture. So if anybody finds a good resource on that, I would love to.
I've been studying a lot of tessiomancy style, but it's Chinese, basic Chinese tessiomancy, and actually, Japanese and Taiwanese occultism here lately. That
would be really cool. You send me some resources. I would love to learn more about the Asian descent
Mm-hmm.
The Asian occult descent.
Right. It's quite interesting, I will say. Some of the videos she's posted, I will send it over to you. It's been one of those times when you look at it and it's like, all right, so how can this all be one plane of it? One small country and one small country, but they're both saying the same thing. Something ain't right here, Albert. Something ain't right here at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's this really, because they aesthetically appear the same to us in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bad habit of people treating them all as like one entity, and that's kind of like calling us French.
Right.
Or German. I don't know their culture really any more than I would know a Japanese culture, but I can tell that their culture is closer in some ways. Like, you can tell that that's an offshoot from one of the cultures that led to my culture.
Right.
Versus, like,
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand, like, why they would, like, maybe think of us as being the same. It's difficult unless you know what to look for to differentiate them. And so a lot of, like, I know that this is something I have definitely run into, that I know I've run into, because I am kind of interested in an Asian culture in general, but like a lot of it will get lumped into Chinese culture.
Right.
And I don't know if that's because politically what is going on in China, and that's just how the information is disseminated, or if it's that Western eye effect.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I'm really fighting not to say a word because I don't think it's a good word anymore. But for a very long time in our culture, things were looked at as the Orient. And,
yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's from the Orient. And
right. I don't know, because here's the thing, like, I don't know anybody. You never know. Like, I don't think that is a word that has been used in a while.
Right.
So.
But, cultures and languages are always changing and always trying to figure out what is right and what is wrong. And that gets a little much. But no, I have been digging into this. I think I may have even shared it. I knew I shared it with the Inner Circle, the Taiwanese that I've been studying, and the different types of Tibetan folk craft, different types of Tibetan witchcraft, and then different types of Tibetan divination. And it's quite a different view on a lot of things, because you have additional elements there. You've got wood and metal. You've got different practices, different beliefs, different views, different deities. Because I've always been the home for the discarded Buddhas. I love me a good discarded Goodwill Buddha. He comes home, he gets washed up in rose water and put in a special place in the house, and then he gets a job and he's happy. Oh, Dottie's bringing us something back for show and tell. Oh,
Buddha!
Yes.
He's the money Buddha.
He is. Hachi Man. He needs these belly rubbed. He loves belly rubs.
I know most men love it when I rub their bellies.
Mm-hmm. Especially the good ones.
You know what? I just want to take a moment and I want to thank all of our viewers and the gods above and everyone who has been just a part of the journey which is definitely not over. But things are really looking up, and I really do hope to see you guys here in my office.
Yes. And make sure to check out what she has available. I'm sure you will enjoy. I hope she enjoys this journey of having a public office. I still do not currently have one. We will see how 2024 goes. I might open the house up have open houses certain days of the month. Now that we can have that,
I had to get an office because people were calling me. It's funny because since I got the office, I haven't had one this month, but it was getting to the point where it was like I was doing like a reading out in the wild a week. I'm like, okay, well, that's enough to pay for an office, really.
Yeah.
Because and it's certainly going to be a lot cheaper than the weird ticket I would get for doing readings in a graveyard.
See, I don't even think they would even bother you in a graveyard. They'd be like, we ain't bothering her. I don't know what she's doing over there, but as long as she don't leave anything behind that we have to take down to the local pagan shop to tell us what it is, we ain't.
Sometimes better not to just. Sometimes it's just better not to kick the hornet's nest.
Exactly.
There was a different. You know what? I've got to. You know what? I've got to do the memoirs. My life is just too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. A lot of people really, really enjoyed the ambiance of the graveyard. Like, I kind of want to, like, work it into the. I like control of the office because I can make it as creepy and weird in here as I want. So I may like do some sort of homage to the graveyard in here. God knows I got a lot of my decorations over Halloween.
Well, and just because it is the unknown doesn't mean it's the done known. And I don't know. I think that you'll have fun with it.
I am enjoying it. I'm just, even if, like, number one, it's nice to have a space where I can control the actual space.
Right.
So I can bring clients in. But even if I mean, a lot of my readings still happen over the phone.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I love to walk in the graveyards. I love the graveyards.
See,
I really think
walk in the graveyard, but I don't want to work in the graveyard because who knows who's going to pop up there visiting their wife that's been dead for 20 years and they haven't found her yet. And want you to tell your client where, his wife is.
I don't really have a whole lot of that problem. Most of the, I do occasionally get somebody who wants to come up and chit chat, but I've never had anybody who was like aggressive.
Right.
I've never had an aggressive person in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Aggressive spirit. Like, for the most part, they're just kind of, it's more of an ambient energy than anything. I get a lot more ambient energy than I do actual spirits.
Right.
Well, now, there's enough ambient energy, and I tell you what, I've never been in a graveyard where I felt uncomfortable unless I did something stupid.
Like didn't leave your dimes at the gate? Stupid?
Or walked over somebody's grave, more likely. Like trying to get to somebody else's grave. Like that's the only time like he's like, hey, don't step on my head.
Yeah.
Which I try really hard not to do, but but I try to follow the rules.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily, I do try to bring an offering, but I also bring awareness. Like I want to normalize people walking in the graveyards and preserving things.
Well,
because I'm part of the death positive movement.
When there were picnic tables in the graveyards, or is that just
there is a picnic table in Spring Hill?
I thought
the one on nothing. Yeah, we've got one.
Like the older graveyards used to also be your local park.
Yeah, everybody would go out. Like there's pictures of people in the Victorian days in their finery, like every Sunday, going out and mingling and gathering in the graveyards.
Right. And, I think that came before, we really, during the First World War I, we really divorced death. We really did.
Yeah, and that was our fault.
Yeah.
I really think that is one of those things. If you guys get a chance, you are interested in the death positive movement. And what that is just more humanizing the process of dying. Understanding your options when it comes to body dispossession and things that like paperwork that you're going to need to have taken care of at the end of your life. It's called it's called the death positive movement. And one of the biggest champions is Ask a Mortician right here on YouTube.
Yep. We love
That's actually
her.
what inspired me to do the Death series, which I finally got space to work on the dress for the ghost character. I need to finish my Death stool. It is just hanging there.
Yeah. You've got to get your death stools. We got to get the wake set up. We got to find some screaming mourners.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking. Yeah, you know, you carry them. You don't try to try. It's hard not to bring some of them home, especially the ones that are really pitiful.
Well, I never had a problem with the spirits. I had the problem with the spirits that decided to continue their life, and part of their life was visiting the graveyard. And it's like, you could visit them on the other side. Why do you keep coming here? I can't find them. They must have reincarnated.
Right. I don't know. It's a different experience in the nursing homes a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of. I used to be a long-term care nurse, so I know when you say you're a hospice nurse, I understand. It's a big difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly in the fact that I was mostly relocated to geriatrics and people with severe disabilities that weren't able to live on their own, where I know that hospice nurses do sometimes get children.
Yeah.
And that's something I never had to deal with, but it's haunted. And there is no abandoned building. There's no farmhouse with 10 murders in it that is nearly as active as any given nursing home is.
Right.
I will lay $50 down. I mean, even Moundsville prison. Don't get me wrong, it gave me the creeps. I would love to go and investigate that, not alone. But
no.
When I worked in the nursing home on night shift, we saw something so often that we were jaded. Like, we didn't even pay attention when, there was one that was so funny. Like, the old one would always point at the ceiling and said, that bitch on the ceiling, like, just ignore her.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking to her. Take your pills.
Right. Yeah. We ain't playing with this one today. I've done a lot of geriatric care. I specialized in Alzheimer's care. That was my passion, that and MS, long-term MS. And those patients, I'm telling you, some of the stuff that would come out of their mouth, some of the people, you could hear the conversations. And of course, with my brain and my skills, I could hear the rest of the conversations. I'm going, oh, girl, I don't know how you didn't put him in the ground.
I tell you what, that is always a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fun ones were people who were slipping out of consciousness, so their body was just sort of running down the engine, and they had pretty much already separated from their body, and they're like moving around for the first time, and they're like,
right,
hell. I'm like, just there's the door, honey. Go on.
Right.
Alzheimer's, man, I tell you what, they could be so much fun.
Oh, they're hilarious. They're hilarious.
I remember one time we had this. It was I think this was when I was still in nursing school, because it was not a nursing home that I ended up working at, but it was, I think we did clinicals there. They had an Alzheimer's ward, and there was these two people there. They were not married. They didn't know each other before they went on this ward, but the guy would worry himself looking for the keys to his truck. So this woman was constantly sitting on the bench with her purse, waiting for him to find his keys so that they could go to town.
Mm-hmm.
She thought that was her husband, pacing back and forth looking for his keys. He had no idea where the keys were.
Right. And that's always the fun part.
Right. And he'd finally get settled down, and she'd ask him where the keys were.
Yeah, like, aren't we going to this town? All right, one more shameless self-plug, that is our Patreons. You guys have seen mentioned in the chat. I'm shotgunning a program called the Temple Maintenance Program. With my Patreons, if you're interested, you have to join the Patreon to figure out what that is.
I'm going to have to go look. I know I'm one of your patrons.
You are one of the station patrons. It is up.
I'm like one of the ghost patrons. I'm like, I spend my money and then I just
you show up for your shows. You don't show up for the barista chats, which baristas, this is a reminder. On Wednesday at 6 o'clock is your barista chat. We will be making station decisions. Be on time for your board of director meeting.
See, now I got to show up. There's going to be decisions made.
Yes.
I got to make my opinions known.
Yes, they always lead the station. They make decisions. They're the ones that brought up the commercial break. So if you're wearing us out, no more 2.5 hour shows. That's crazy, Asen. We can't watch that long. Our phone die.
Right. I am going to try and start keeping things down to an hour, but
yeah,
it's funny because you and I get talking to people.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but we got a lot of the Shameless promotions out tonight.
We did.
Yeah,
we got a lot going on. So I haven't. I will always find something to talk about.
Yep. And then I've got a project underneath the hood. Be looking for an announcement sometime this week, possibly next week, about a new project. I
didn't realize how many I have.
I realize how many I have. You want to know how I know how many I have?
Because you plan it out online?
No, honey.
I tried to listen to your...
That's how I know I've got a lot of projects. I've had to go to expander rings.
I did try to watch your The Psychic Who Plans.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to do my homework when it aired, so I popped in and out. But, I finally got my newsletter done. That's what I want to promote. Y'all got to sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah.
We need to make that a little.
Link.
Yeah. Can y'all drop me a link there, Joe?
We will.
Is he watching?
He is recharging. I put his battery plug in and he's recharging.
Okay. It's fair. We all need to recharge occasionally.
Yep.
God knows I do. I've been staying up late because my boyfriend works night shift, so it's nothing for him to be up till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah. It's I got my page out for. He's getting ready to take over my seat tomorrow because I got paged out to go do some civic duty. So I won't be in the office, so he has to take over the massive notebook and handle everything. And I will be checking the.
Is he doing your readings for you?
No, he's not doing my readings for me, but he's doing all the other stuff Asen does. My readings are only 22% of my activity.
You know what? That doesn't shock me because I'm trying to get. I want to do I really want to do in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I am supporting myself, Dottie the Psychic Industry, primarily off my Patreon, which, by the way, folks, if you sign up to be one of my patrons, you get exclusive content and a 25% off code every month. And your name and pretty much all except for the live stream videos because you all do not want me rattling off people's names. This is not a good idea.
We're going to work on that one. So
never going to happen.
Well, no.
But we do try to put. I do try to put a Patreon page.
Yeah.
What?
We've got some ideas how to do that. We just have to play with Skype. We may have Madame Tortuga do it. But if you want to join Dottie's Patreon, here is Dottie's Patreon. Sending it out now.
So every month, also, I've been trying to do a Patreon project.
Mm-hmm.
Last month's project, I put out all the bloopers that had survived the seas of time. Mm-hmm. So I got bloopers from a video I did 2 or 3 years ago. I got Tessiomancy bloopers.
Wow.
Yeah, so I put those all out this month, November.
Right.
December's big promotion is that normally I only take 25% off, but for my patrons, if you sign up for my Patreon, every patron that signed up can get a code for 50% off their reading. And of course, everything that's been up to that point.
Right.
All the exclusive content, that whatnot.
Right.
So the best way to keep up with what I'm doing is the newsletter.
Right. It is. And then if you want to keep up with the station, they get exclusive content. They get to shotgun some of my they get to shotguns a lot of my stuff. Like they have helped me develop a lot of online classes. They're now helping with the temple maintenance program. They get exclusive content that goes nowhere else. They even get like vlogs. You can go ahead and check that out. That's the PCSP network one that goes to keep everybody on the air. And to give us the streaming platforms and everything else.
I gotta get some. I want to, if things get stable, that may be 2024's project because I'm not starting any classes or anything else until I get the deck out. Like that is the next project, is to finish all of my work on the deck. That's my next big project. But after that, I'm thinking about maybe setting up a course or two. I could definitely do some from nobody to somebody tarot reading, psychic, all the things you need to know.
Right. And you could definitely go about doing tasseomancy as a class because you've already done the research. You just need to put the course together.
Right. I mean, I could break that. I know that I can break that up into sections tonight.
Let's not. Let's not.
Yeah, we're not. We're tired tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
I love you guys. I really do. I know I probably seem drunk on this live stream because I'm tired, and that seems like there's not a lot of brain cells left. What I do have, I am using to entertain.
Well, of course, honey. With that, let's wrap this up, baby doll. So, when are you next? Who's your next guest?
Our next guest is actually, I think it's going to be Grace. I cannot remember her priestess.
Isadora.
Isadora. This is why I don't read names off, folks. But I am going to try and have my Patreon thank you page on the website. Like that's like the I'm stable when my web page has been updated.
Yes. Because she gets it to Joe, and Joe can actually get it done when he's not being Aisen's assistant and business manager and everything else.
It's on the list.
Yeah, it's on the list. But no, chat's going to be a really fun live stream. I think you'll enjoy her. I know we enjoyed her at Central West Virginia Pagan Pride. Is there anything?
I'm really interested in what she has to say about being a death doula and dealing with disability and her practice, because she's a big advocate.
Right.
She's death positive. She's disability activist, which we're making it work.
Yep, we're getting there. So is there anything else you want to announce that goes on in between now and that show?
I feel like I'm being prompted.
Yes, you are. I know exactly how tired you are. I expect a text when you get home tonight.
I will definitely text you when I get home tonight. It's just the language center is just shut down.
I know.
Honest to God, like since I had COVID, I have had more difficulty speaking. Like it is going to be a permanent part of my life, and I have learned just to find it amusing and hope that other people do. And if you don't, you're an asshole.
Right. Well.
So give me a second. Let me think. Between now and let's see, that is the 12th of December. So this weekend is Moundsville, going to that, and the 6th is when I am officially opening the office up to clients, which I think I already talked about.
Yep. So be one of Dotty's first appointments. Be watching her pages for when the live appointment goes up.
December's going to be a big month. Make sure you definitely want to get on that mailing list because I have dropped a couple of interesting codes there. So everybody this month can get 25% off their reading with code Scrooge. When we get that code in. Did Joe get that code in yet?
No, he hasn't. I've been working.
So when we get that code in?
Yeah, when everything goes live, we will make the announcements, and you'll be able to get all that together.
Right.
Okay, let's see. What is Asen doing between now and you get to see me tomorrow night? No, is it tomorrow night? Tomorrow night in Home Psychic Coffee Shop. Then we'll be back Thursday with coffee and tea. I'm not sure who's on because we've shuffled the order around. It's a surprise for Asen on who he's having coffee and tea with.
Yeah, I know. Gwen and I are the ones who switched because she's had the second weekend and I had the third, and I needed to.
But November we switched everybody around. It was like playing Yahtzee.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be like a.
Yeah.
That's. I tried to tell you then that like I needed to permanently change it because.
Right.
Art walk.
Right. But so that's you never know who Asen's having coffee with. And then Friday night is Mountain Bears, and of course Techie Joe will be fully recharged and ready to talk about all the LGBT topics. And then Saturday night we are taking the night off. We have possibly a second show on Friday. We're still in the development stages of that show, so it may actually not air to the 9th. We will see. We'll be watching for news announcements for that show. That is not a PCSP network show.
Oh yeah, that's an outside show, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Asen taking the airways and reins of another network.
How many shows can Asen do a week?
Asen can technically do 24 shows a week. That is an hour and a half show. We have figured this out. It is, but you know what? If that gets me onto Sirius XM, I will be happy to sit down and show them how to do 24 shows in a week.
You know what though? Like when I did that, when I spent too much money on advertising, that got me like one lady who never could get her. That is some weird magic, man. That just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
When I did the business podcast network,
mm-hmm.
I was kind of shocked that I did not get more viewers from that because I spent like $10,000 on that project all the way around. But we had those half-hour shows, and I enjoyed the hell out of them. Like it was a little shotgun. Like you started now, you were done at this point, and I made them run over a few times because I got them all like interested in what I was saying. Like like people lost time.
Yep. But no. Right now, Mel Robbins is looking at me on the back of my office wall, and that's not because, and I love her stuff, but that's because I want her job. I want a Sirius XM station for psychics.
And when you get your station, of course, you can always host Dottie the Psychic.
Well, of course,
I'll come up with a whole different show.
Yes, you'll have to. But no, that's one of Asen's world goals. Not, it's on the vision board. It's like the house that he wants to build and everything else, which, I don't know. I may do a video on how to build a vision board. Or is that overdone? Do you think, Dottie?
What, the vision boards?
Uh-huh.
Nah.
Okay.
You got to do it artsy, though. Like, if you're going to do a vision board, I'm going to need a little more than a bunch of typed out messages tacked to a board. I want to see color. I want to see some dimension. Like, if you're going to do this, break out the origami star boxes.
Right.
And, like, the fake fruit. You got to make it something that is actually going to make an impression on your psyche. I think that's where people fail with the vision boards, is they literally start out with, like, this is like a dry erase board. Like, why'd you bother?
Right.
I mean, if you're going to actually plan it out, that's one thing. I appreciate the I understand. I appreciate practical, magical application of actually sitting down and figuring your shit out. But that's not a vision board. A vision board is supposed to be a piece of art.
Well, not only that, but it's supposed to be something that is in your view at all times. Yeah.
I'm not going to butcher her name, but I appreciate our cheerleader.
Yeah. Shella? Shelley?
Yes.
Yes, Shelley Collins. Yes, thank you so much for
Sure.
hanging in. Miss Brenda has
Sure, yeah.
been.
It's a beautiful name, which is why I am not going to sit here and butcher it on air.
Yeah, Miss Brenda's right there with Asen's world domination plan. No, Asen doesn't have a world domination plan. He has a airways domination plan. And then, if he would go into government, yes, he would be happy to show the New World Order how to organize this planet into a system that is fair and balanced and puts everyone where they belong. But that's not today. No one's asked for the plan for world domination yet.
I just want to be, a multimillionaire.
See, I don't
I
even
want to
want
have I want to have what is it? Let me do how many digits is that? 1,000. I was gonna say so. Yeah, I want to have a 7-digit, 8-digit bank account. That's what I want in life.
See, that's
I want
weird.
to be rich.
I don't want to be rich. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to have to sit there and figure out what to do with my money. I just want my money to cover the shit I need to do. I do not need to have a plan for world dominations. I need 8 figureheads that will actually do their jobs. I need people that will actually understand that we are going to have to stop this bullshit we're having around here. And then we have to get some plans together. Exactly. Comfortability. Because here's the thing, and this is what people don't get unless you watch like shows on lottery winners and stuff. The more money you have, the more problems you have. I don't want more problems. I just want everything comfortable, everything paid, Roth IRAs and life insurance and, indemnitable trust still filled. Don't have to sit there and worry, well, are we going to have enough money to pull this project off? Or I'm done with that.
Right. Yeah, I would like to be able to. I would like to buy the groceries for everybody in the store one day. That would be cool.
That would be cool. Although it's so taxing because, those little cashiers up there are going to look at you and go, you're nuts. We can't do that. But I think we've babbled on, and I think Dottie's about out of caffeine because I'm seeing her taking Coca-Cola.
I'm out of steam. You know what? I've had money, and I've had times where I didn't have money. I prefer to have money. I'm not going to lie. Look, don't get me wrong. That's not the only reason why I'm doing this, because I could make a lot more money doing other things.
Yeah,
but
I can understand that.
Huh?
But, I can understand that. Like, I've never been one, and maybe it's how I was raised. I don't need to be rich. I just need to be happy.
I could be happy with money.
Yeah, I can be happy with money. I can also be very unhappy with money because I've had, a large, I've been somebody's little prince before, and I don't think I've ever thrown a fit on somebody in my life worse.
You know what? And that is true. Look, I sit here and say that I'm mostly being funny. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to turn down that money when it comes, but I do believe that I am going to be rich and famous one day, and I'm going to enjoy it. It is more important to be happy.
Yep.
Because I'm
much
on an ascension. I'm just not going to slow myself down.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I think we've babbled on enough. I think Dottie's about ready to get one of those hook things and drag me off the stage.
I'll choose happiness over money, but I'd like to have both.
Yep.
You don't have to pick. You don't have to pick.
Yep. You don't.
But anyway, so yeah, Asen, it's been lovely having you on another shameless self-promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully nothing's gonna go wrong, and we'll actually have the guest that was invited to come on next one.
Well, if they do, they do. If not, we'll sit out and have a little joshing session because I always got something to be shameless about.
You know what? You're right, Shannon. Money will buy a lot of shit that will take the stress off me, and that would make me happy. I'm like, money may not buy happiness, but it does pay the therapy bills.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, y'all. It has been another lovely shameless promotion with Asen. God, that's 2 in a row. You know that, right? Like, that's 2.
I know that. And I'm sitting here. I'm going to have to go look at my schedule and see. Are you with me Thursday night too?
I think that I don't know for this one, not this one, because it would be week 2 because I traded with Gwen.
No,
Because
Lady
I
Gwen.
needed the.
We move into December, so I'm gonna have to go see because we don't even have that scheduled yet. That's on my list for
Okay.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I know you put because Joe put Shameless Self Promotion on my Google Calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I need to move that. I need to fix that because I can't do the third Thursday anymore because I'm gonna be doing art walk.
Yep. So we're gonna.
Anyway, we can figure that out later.
We'll bring
I
it all
hope
out
you
later.
I hope you all have a lovely night. Thank you to all my patrons. Thank you to all my viewers, and thank you to all of my clients. Thank you, Asen, for popping in here on a moment's notice and doing a 2-hour show.
You had coffee, so you're summoning me, honey. Coffee and cigarettes summons me just fine. It's always a joy to sit down with you and have a great night, talk about our projects and what we're doing.
We've always got something going on. Always got something going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks. Safe travel. Much profit to you.
Good night, y'all.